Hello everyone and welcome to Season 9 Episode 6, our final episode in our Not So Classic Monsters season of Icy Bad Movies.
Helps if you mention the podcast name.
Honestly.
How long have we been doing this?
I know. I've been editing a lot as well recently, and like I told you, I've been sorting out the YouTube videos.
Yeah. And
I listened back to some of the starts of some of the earlier episodes, and it was like, oh, don't worry, one day we'll get this opening right. Still waiting.
Here we are.
Still waiting 2 years later. Honestly, I promise I'll get a little bit more professional with it. But yeah, welcome to Season 9, Episode 6 of Icy Bad Movies. I'm one of your hosts, Dave Keane, and I am joined by the garlic-hating, sunlight-cowering...
Dodging.
pale-skinned, pointy-teethed Emma Spicer.
Hello.
Hello.
That's all true.
I know. And an event, it's not true. It's not. Mostly.
Wow, I am quite pale.
Quite pale. Cold-hearted. Monstrous killer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, obviously, first of all, the name of the movie that we are watching and everything I just said should really give you a clue about our not-so-classic monster in this episode. And it's obviously vampires.
Yes.
And vampires are kind of a big thing at the moment.
Are they?
Yeah, because of the movie Sinners. Have you seen it?
No.
Oh my God, you need to go and see it. Yes, it is absolutely brilliant.
Okay.
It is so good. I'm not going to lie, right? I watched it and I was just like slack-jawed.
Really? Was it in the cinema?
All of it. Yeah, it's in the cinema. And
okay.
I think it'll be in the cinema for a little bit longer. If you can get to go, I definitely recommend going. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was really lucky that like vampires has become a big thing at the same time as we are going to be talking about a vampire movie.
Yeah.
I know. Well, the trouble is as well,
this won't get
by the
released
time
straight
this
away though.
episode comes out, it's going to be like the 20th of May. So it might still be in the cinemas at that point. But if anyone's listening in the future and you've seen the movie Sinners, you'll know like there's massive hype about it. Yeah. Like it's just been all over my TikTok.
I'd never heard of it, but yeah.
You've never heard of it?
No.
Oh, it's massive at the moment. It's all over my TikTok everywhere.
Okay.
Because it's got like...
Do you have to be a fan of vampire movies to really appreciate you? Or no?
No, you don't. No. The vampires in it are really just an allegory as well. Because it's a great film. It's Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah.
Ryan Coogler, the guy that directed Black Panther, etc. Although I'm struggling remembering other films that he's made at this point in time. The Creed movies as well with Michael B. Jordan. And yeah, it's just absolutely brilliant. Recommend it. Anyway, that doesn't help us with the movie we are watching tonight. Emma, are you looking forward to watching Sundown, the Vampire in Retreat?
Of course I am.
It sounds, I think, really intriguing. And I mean, I know I shared the trailer with you.
Yes.
And we were like, oh, 100%.
There was one part of the trailer that I was like, yeah, okay. You had me at decapitation.
Honestly, I just love occasionally seeing reels on Instagram of bits of terrible movies.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, we have to watch that.
We have to watch it, yeah.
We have to watch that.
And this is the great thing. So now we're doing this podcast. You just, every now and then, you just stumble across a little gem, don't you? And you're like, that's perfect for the podcast. And even to the point where we sometimes create a whole category.
Yes.
Just because we found, like Frankenhooker.
Yeah, that's right.
We had to create this monsters this whole season because we were like, we have to watch this movie. We rather than shoehorn it into something else, let's just make a category for it, because as soon as we saw it, we were like, yeah, we saw the trailer and we were like, we've got to cover this one. And it was brilliant, wasn't it?
Oh, 100%.
It was a good find.
It really was. And even our next category has spun out of the same thing, a trailer you sent me.
Yeah, I sent you a trailer and I was like, however we do it, we've got, even if we do it as a special, we've got to cover this movie.
Yeah.
So we think we're going to do a whole season. It is a season that I wanted to do. I just didn't have any movies to put into it. Although I had one other one, but we'd already watched that as a special. So
that's right. Yes.
So yeah, we sometimes do just create these categories based on the trailer of a movie we've seen.
That's because, Emma, we've got our fingers on the pulse.
We have, haven't we? But I tell you what else is brilliant. Prime is great because when you watch one bad movie, it will make suggestions of other things you might like.
Yes.
And I'm sure we've stumbled across other things from the suggestions before.
I'm sure Carousel was a film.
I think it might have been.
That came from us watching something like Killer Sofa, probably.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah.
And that was great as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, you do get these little gems just pop up. And I mean, obviously with the internet now as well, it's like you can just Google, and we've found movies like that before, haven't we? Just Google the category we were after, and you get a list. Yep,
I know. There's the one thing that I will thank algorithms for.
Yeah,
is being like, oh, you're into this
and
terrible
TikTok.
thing.
TikTok will throw up things, won't it? That like.
Although, actually, I don't get a lot of movie stuff on my TikTok
I did
anymore.
At one point. I got there was a guy that was reviewing bad movies, and he Velocipasta.
He wasn't better than us, was he?
No, of course not.
Velocipasta. We have to do Velocipasta.
Have we not done it on the podcast?
We've not done Velocipasta.
Oh, we just watched it for fun.
We've seen it for fun, yeah. But we do have to.
I get confused what we've covered and what we've just watched because we're strange.
It comes up a lot, Velocipasta, on the Real Life Ghost Stories Facebook. It seems to get posted so much, and like people always tag me in it. It's like, you need to watch this, and I'm like,
we have.
Yeah, we have. Yeah, we
just haven't reviewed it.
Yeah, we just haven't reviewed it. I promise we probably will.
Oh, okay.
But like, I'm feeling some sort of martial arts in the future, and Velocipasta.
I know you want to do martial arts.
Into that.
Yeah.
It slots into
do martial arts.
We have to do it.
We've got a couple of ideas, haven't we, for the next few seasons?
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, if you put it this way, right, a couple of ideas for the next few seasons probably takes us into 2026.
Yeah, true.
You know, because the frequency we release episodes at. Anyway, shall we stop having a podcast meeting and go through the synopsis of Sundown, the Vampire in Retreat? So here we have, the last remaining vampires have decided to find peace in a secluded desert town protected by sunblock. They are in the midst of getting a substitute blood plant up and running, but they need the help of a human scientist who brings his family, not knowing what they are walking into. Oh, it's proper 80s looking, this film as well, isn't it? Although it's 1989 that it was released. And do you know what I'm looking forward to in it?
What?
It's got Bruce Campbell in it.
Who's that?
So Bruce Campbell is from the Evil Dead movies. He does a lot of stuff with Sam Raimi. He's a real cult actor.
Okay.
And he's brilliant. He's playing Van Helsing in this film. And I can only imagine him bringing, I think, a really good spin to it, because he's a good, funny actor. He's in a great film called Bubba Hotep, where he plays Elvis Presley that didn't die, but is living out his life in an old folks' home that has
amazing concept for a movie.
A mummy come attack. Yeah, and he's Elvis and he's dealing with a mummy. So yeah,
sounds plausible.
Again, why didn't we do this film on that season? That film on this season.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll probably have another season of the ones that got away.
We will definitely do. We will definitely do ones that got away.
More than likely will. Right, Emma.
But then we'll have so many by the time we can do that a couple of times over though, can't we?
Oh, yeah.
The ones that got away.
I think so.
Every now and then we'll just do ones that got away.
Yeah, there'll be loads of options. Right, shall I toss the coin and see how we're going to review this one? What do you reckon?
Bad.
It is the bad. It is the bad. Okay. I don't think there's going to be much bad in this film.
Do you not?
I don't. I've got hope and faith.
Okay.
I just feel it in my bones.
I mean, I've only seen the trailer, but from the trailer, I would say if the rest of the movie's like the trailer,
yes,
then we're on to a winner. It's going to be a good one.
I think so.
So that might make it quite difficult to make a podcast about the bad bits. Maybe we should rethink our concept for this podcast.
Just talk about films. There you go. We like this bit and we like this bit. We didn't like this bit.
We just do one episode.
Yeah.
And we just talk about what we've got the most notes on, and then we charge everybody for every episode. None of it's free anymore. Listen, cost of living.
So welcome to the last episode of I See Bad Movies, everyone. It's been nice knowing you. Emma, before we have any more harebrained ideas, shall we go and watch this film?
Let's do it.
Well, welcome back, Emma.
David, I haven't really got anything bad to talk about.
And see, this is the cost, wasn't it?
I've got a couple of things, and that's it.
I said I don't think there's going to be a lot of bad, and here we are with not very much bad about this film.
I hope like the 80s, because that's what we were talking about. That's my default.
That's it. Shall we go through a little bit of what happens in this film?
Yes.
And then we'll cover over our bad little bits with a little bit of filler, perhaps, as well. The movie's basically a haven for vampires has been created by vampires for themselves.
Yes.
Right? And they use sunblock and big floppy sun hats, and they keep themselves covered during the day, etc., etc. So there's a lot of like strange fashion choices going on in this film.
There's also, this doesn't fit into a category, so I'm just going to say it now.
Go on.
There's a bit in the beginning where one of the old guys, so there's 3 old guys, isn't there, sitting out in the beginning, and one of them goes inside to reapply the sun cream.
Yeah.
But I don't know why, but it's just... So he puts 2 fingers into the sun cream, and it's really like glooping. It like makes that horrible squelchy noise.
Yeah.
And he puts his fingers together, and he just like has it on his finger, but he kind of does a movement. It's just... I don't know. I can't explain it. It just kind of creeps me out.
You don't have to explain it because everybody knows the movement he did.
Yeah, it's the way he just like gets the 2 fingers in the tub and gets like this big, like, it's white as well. Yeah. And it's just like, it's just a bit grim. They knew what they were doing. Yeah, it's just a close up, isn't it, of his fingers with the sun cream on it as well. Yeah. And it's just, it's just a bit creepy. Yeah, it was a bit. They knew exactly what they were doing there. And there's probably someone watching this film right now, somewhere in the world, stoned out their heads, laughing their asses off at that moment, and you just think, oh, grow up. Just grow up. Yeah, it wouldn't catch us laughing at something like that. But then we wouldn't have much to talk about if they didn't do stupid stuff like that in film, would they? You know? Yeah. So as you say, Emma's quite right. The movie does open up. We've got these 3 old fellas sitting on a sort of a sun lounge. Are they sitting on a sun? Yeah, they're sitting on a swing, aren't they? They're sitting on like a sun loungy swing, like an outdoor swing thing, aren't they? Yeah, like one or 3 of them can sit on. Yes, yeah, like a bench swing kind of. I don't know what you call them. Not a sun lounger swing. Yeah, yeah, not a sun lounger. Like it is a swing, isn't it? Yeah, it's a swing. Yeah, it's an adult swing. No, it's not that. No, it's not that kind of swing. It's not a sex swing. No, it's just a swing for adults, is what I mean. Yes. And we have this. They spot in the distance this boy racer just shooting across the desert in his Jeep. Yeah. And this guy is snorting all sorts of coke. It's the 80s. There's just so much of it around. You know, it didn't cost anything. You could just drive around in a big car in the desert, just bags of coke flying everywhere. Apparently. Good for them, I suppose. And he gets there and he is like honking his horn. Hey, I need filling up. And the 3 guys have basically like tossed the dice to figure, not tossed the dice, but you know, they've argued over who's gonna serve this gentleman. Yeah. So he's beep beep beep. Come on. Whilst our vampire is applying his sunblock and getting himself ready to go out in the sunlight. This guy's getting more and more wound up though. So when our old fella gets out there and starts to deal with the gassing up of his vehicle, he doesn't leave it alone, does he? No. And instantly annoys our old fella so much that he just swings round, slaps his head off. Like, yeah, it's instant decapitation. There's no questions asked. Oh, none. Off with his head. None at all. He saw red very, very quickly. I'm trying to think. The name of the actor is a great old actor. He's, what's his name? Emmett Walsh. You will recognise him from all sorts of things. He's been in so many films. He was in the original Critters, Blade Runner, The Jerk. Oh, so much. He's just one of those actors that just seems to be in everything. Knives Out. Yeah, one of those prolific, just jobbing actors. Anyway, he is just seriously peed off and kills this fella. And quite right. He was annoying. His character's name is Mort, by the way. So what we don't realise, though, or what Mort doesn't realise, and his other 2 vampire pals, they don't realise that off in the distance is this dead fella's friends watching exactly what happened and getting freaked out by it. Mm-hmm. So then we move quite some way away to a family, the Harrison family.
who are, what should we say? They are just a family, but they've got 2 daughters who are vampire mad. Isn't that convenient?
Yeah. For a vampire movie,
For a vampire movie.
Very convenient.
Yeah. Oh, hey, what a coincidence. So the girls are vampire mad, but ultimately, we find out that they are going to this little town called Purgatory, which is where all the vampires are, because the dad is a scientist and he's going to be working on machinery for the town's synthetic blood factory. But he doesn't realise it's for vampires. He just thinks they are creating a synthetic blood thing for the medical community.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, hey, great. This backwater town is employing me to go and work on this. So, yeah, we see the family's heading off to the town. What else? What then happens? There's nothing really happens with the family, is there? Oh, no, we do find out that in the same town is a fella called Shane.
Yes.
Who is the wife in this family's ex.
Yes.
And it's like, oh, it doesn't want to be any big deal about it, blah, blah, blah. And I know I'm going to spoil a bit at the end of the film here, but it's very ambiguous in this film that one of the daughters is not the daughter of the husband.
Yes.
Is the daughter of Shane instead. But he doesn't know this at the moment.
No.
It's all a bit strange. Now, so they get to Purgatory ultimately, and they are living in they kind of move into this house in Purgatory. We have at the same time as as them traveling to Purgatory. Oh, it's going to get so annoying saying the word Purgatory.
Just call it Purg.
On the way to Purg. On the way to Purg. It's because of the accent. Purgatory. Purgatory. Anyway.
Shall I just dub in the word purgatory you want to say it?
If I point to you, you say Purgatory.
Okay.
So they're off on the way to
Purgatory.
And in the town of
Purgatory.
God, Jesus Christ. No, that's not working. That's not working, is it? I mean, it worked, but I can't hack it.
Just say in the town.
In the town. Yes, that's so much easier.
Yeah.
In the town.
Purgatory.
I couldn't help but point. We also have the friends of the dead guy come into town to tell the sheriff about what happened. Unfortunately, they don't know that the sheriff is also a vampire.
Well, they're all vampires, aren't they?
Because they're all vampires. And he locks up the couple because he's like, well, you've kind of seen too much. And he also locks up Mort, who chopped off the feather's head.
Yeah.
Okay. Because it's like, oh...
He's in the cell next to them, isn't he?
Yeah, because they're trying... Yeah, he puts the killer in the cell next to the friends. I know. But also they're trying to be like, oh, Mort, we're trying not to kill people. We've got to try and keep a low profile, etc., etc.
That kills people.
My tummy had the rumblies that only hands could fill. Oh, that shows our age, probably, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. If anyone recognises that, you're as old as us.
Yes, and we love you very much for it.
Or maybe even older, if that's possible.
I hope it is.
Yeah, I
hope it's possible.
I think we're safe. I think it is.
I hope there's someone out there older than me. I got lost.
So they're in jail.
Yeah, they're in the jail. Mort's in the jail because, they want to try and keep a low profile, etc., etc. David goes to work. His name is David, isn't it, I think?
Yes, there is a David in this.
Yes, it's David.
Because I remember thinking at one point we went through quite a few movies where the main character was called David. There's a lot of Davids at one point.
And we've also gone through a lot of movies where the main character's name was Emma.
Yeah, we have actually.
Well. Yeah.
We've just got such popular names.
Yeah, I know. It's almost like those aren't our real names. We just picked them for the podcast because they're so popular in bad movies. Maybe we did.
They'll never know.
No, they won't.
They actually won't.
No.
We could be anybody.
We could be. I could be anyone. You could be anyone. Oh, do you know what my problem is at the moment?
What? You're going through the menopause and you need a day off work every month? Have you seen that video?
Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
There's a guy on a podcast saying that men's testosterone. Have I said that right?
Yeah, testosterone. Yeah.
Your levels drop as you get older, so you get more tired. So you should really have a day off work every month. And I'm like, some women get horrendous periods and endometriosis and stuff and have to go to work, and it's just expected to get on with it. Yeah. And sometimes you're in agony, but we're expected just to get on with it.
So I hope he's also advocating for time off for women.
No.
Oh.
He's just saying that.
Oh, what a double standard.
He's just saying that men might be struggling every month, so they might need a day off a month. Did you know as well that women need about 10 to 12 hours sleep a night? We don't get that at all.
No.
Apparently, it is like scientifically proven that, because I think it's something to do with our hormones as well.
Right.
Honestly, it's a genuine thing.
Yeah.
That we actually need more sleep than men, but we don't get it because obviously the working week doesn't allow for you to have like 10 to 12. When you've got like stuff to do at home and you're not just getting from work and go to bed.
You can't go to bed at like 6 o'clock at night to get up for 6 the next morning. Yeah.
So it just doesn't allow you to have enough sleep. So women,
you'd be like a
not
vampire.
Sleep. Yeah.
Reverse.
Yeah. Anyway, that's just little medical facts there.
Wow. I wonder what my boss would say if I was like, oh yeah, boss, my testosterone levels are a little bit low. I need a day off every month. It's like, well, you've got a holiday. Like, take it if you want it. Yeah. If you want to be a little bitch.
Yeah, get on with it, bitch.
Jeez Christ. Oh, the world. I lose hope. Honestly, whoever had the idea of putting a microphone in front of a white man's mouth? Oh, shit. Anyway, moving swiftly on. But I've never come out with anything like that, have I? I've never come out with a stupid idea.
I don't think so.
Not to that degree, at least.
No.
Not to that degree.
Not to that degree.
But anyway, I think my issue with this film was, as much as I kind of enjoyed it, I was also really bored by it.
Oh, okay.
There just wasn't that much interesting.
Yeah, see, it's really funny because when I look at my notes, I've got a lot more good stuff than bad. Yeah. But I agree that it was quite a boring movie.
Yeah.
So how's that? I guess
strange,
I guess you can still have like things I've got is like, good deaths and good lines and things like that. But that doesn't mean that the plot was particularly good.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a bit slow.
Yeah. Now, we have a strange scene in the house with the Harrisons. This is the name of the family, by the way. Where the mother, what's her name? Sarah, is getting ready for bed. And we've got a very pervert kind of bat scene, haven't we?
Oh, yeah.
Well,
I think I've got this down as a scene, actually.
Yeah, so I won't go into too much about it. She gets attacked by a bat, and the girls see this happening as well, but then the bat disappears when the girls turn up, and it's all kind of like, oh, it's not that bad, blah, 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 and then they just get over it. Like, there was a massive bat attacking you. It was massive.
Well, no, it was massive, and then it was tiny.
It was cold, all right.
We'll talk about that.
We'll talk about that.
That's what they all say, don't they?
That's what they all say. It's cold out. There's a chill. So that happens. And then the next day, David goes to work and meets like the scientists that are involved in this blood alternative. And he has a bit of a to-do with Shane because they are like, well, Shane is a prick, isn't he?
Yeah.
He very much is still very covetous of Sarah and wants her, etc., etc.
Yeah.
And
he's the kind of like, I don't want you, but I don't want anyone else to have you kind of guy, isn't he?
Yes, that's exactly it. Absolutely. Yeah. And he kind of says some really, really sensitive things about Sarah to David.
I've got a bad line
in the workplace.
Yeah, I've got a bad line down about him where he says something totally unnecessary.
Oh god, yeah. And it's like, that wouldn't cut it today with HR, would it?
Oh, you'd be sacked on the spot.
Yeah, you'd be gone. And rightly so. But they end up actually even getting into like a little bit of a fist fight, which David loses because Shane, surprise, surprise, is a vampire and has got quite a bit more strength.
Stronger, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's also during this time that the two girls in the house are having a little explore around and a play around in the house, and they open up a secret door which leads them down into a kind of a crypt below the house and the house next door.
Yeah.
And the girls find a coffin, and out of the coffin rises a fella called Count Mardulac, which is a hot, stupid name for a vampire. Count Mardulac.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I'll have some Mardulac on toast, please. Thanks a lot.
It's a silly name.
It's a stupid name, isn't it?
Yeah.
Honestly. So anyway, this obviously freaks the girls out, and they go running to their mum, and it's like, oh, there's a man in a coffin, blah 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 blah. Mother doesn't believe it because the girls are vampire mad. So obviously, they are making it up. Of course they are. Anyway, surprise, surprise. Here is Count Mardulac in the house, and he's like, oh yeah, the girls found this secret passage that I've got, and I was just tending to my mother's coffin down there.
Yeah.
And they must have just, their imagination must have just gone wild.
That's normal, isn't it?
Yeah.
To have your mum's coffin down in the basement under your house.
Yeah, absolutely normal.
That no one knows about.
Nothing Bates Motel about that at all,
Nothing
is
to
there?
see here.
No. Like, what in the Jesus is going on? But we also have someone else. I can't remember the name of this fella. Otto his name is. He's like an old school vampire.
Yes.
It turns out that he is creating a kind of a splinter group of his own vampires that want to break away from Count Mardulac's idea of living peacefully and therefore using this synthetic blood.
Yeah.
Otto wants to go back to the old school.
Real blood.
Yeah. Taking out humans.
Well, yeah.
Vampires being the master race. But I said this to you when we were watching the film. I think, like, vampires are the stupidest monster in the whole world.
Yeah.
Because, like, they need humans to survive.
Yeah.
And if they just keep creating more and more vampires, there's less humans for them to survive.
And if everyone eventually turns into a vampire, you'll have nothing to feed on.
Yeah.
So, but then I guess it depends on how quickly they're killing people to how quickly other humans are being born. And
yeah.
I don't know.
And that's it, right? If they turn one person into a vampire and that person's got an extended family, that person's going to think, oh, I don't want my family to be without. They'll turn them into vampires.
Yeah.
And I think it very quickly spread to more people being vampires than non-vampires. It's a strange monster.
Good job they're fictional.
Good job they're fictional. Yeah. Wait, they are fictional.
I think so.
I hope so.
So
Otto's going around actually converting other people in, like strangers to the town, into vampires, but he's also trying to talk other people in the town into revolting against Mardulac's ideas.
Yeah.
We then have Bruce Campbell arrive in town.
Yep.
As Van Helsing, and it's a breath of fresh air. And don't want to go in too much into it, but Bruce Campbell's great in this film as Van Helsing. He's perfectly over the top, which this film needs. Over dramatic, and comedy timing is really good by him. He's very, very good. Anyway, he turns up and he's in the diner and he's like chatting away to, and the diner's a mainstay of this film. He's chatting away to a lady called Sandy in the diner, and she's like, I would say, the youngest person in town. And she's young, blonde, and attractive. And she's working in the diner, and this diner is full of vampires pretending to sit and eat food all day.
Oh yeah, so the food's all manky, isn't it, and moldy, because they don't actually obviously eat it.
That's it. But I thought that was such a clever idea.
Yeah, it was quite good actually.
But like, also, why are they sitting in there all day? Why don't they just wait until people turn up and like, people are coming, get to positions?
Yeah, they don't need to be in there all day, do they? I didn't think of that.
It's just,
or are they? Do they definitely say they're in there all day?
I'm pretty sure they are in there all day. It's like their job to sit in there,
like the Truman Show, where they've all got their places to be when he comes out.
Yeah.
That's
exactly it. Yes, which is funny because they're not true men; they're vampires. I'll get my coat.
Yeah.
I'll see you later.
Bye.
I'm actually struggling talking about this film. I'm finding it difficult to talk about this film.
Because it was so boring.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
And like,
it's hard to get enthusiastic about a movie that we struggled through, isn't it?
Yeah, and even then, like, nothing really happens until the end, when it just suddenly goes off the rails.
We either have a movie that I think, wow, that flew by because it was really good and I was really enjoying it, and I'm frantically writing notes and I can't write fast enough. Mm-hmm. Or then we have other movies that I think, is it still not finished? And the last sort of couple of scenes, I think, surely it's going to end now, and it just drags.
And it goes on again.
And you think, just die.
Yeah.
And this was one of those where we just wanted it to be over, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's pretty much it, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Now, Van Helsing is kind of enamored by Sandy. He doesn't know she's a vampire at this point in time himself, and he's looking for Count Margulac. But Sandy's like, oh, I can't talk too much, but if you meet me out here in the desert, I'll be able to talk to you a lot more. And it's all a ploy, because ultimately Sandy has got the horn.
Yeah.
She's in a town full of old vampires, and she's also recently turned. She's only been a vampire for 6 months or so. Yeah. So she sees this young, attractive man come into town, as like, oh, he could maybe be my mate, my pal. Let's turn him into a vampire. So she kind of tries to do that, but she doesn't realise that Van Helsing is a vampire hunter. So he kind of deals with it. He doesn't kill her, but he stops her and is like, right, you're going to take me to see Count Margulac, blah, blah, blah. And he goes to see Count Margulac, and ultimately Sandy turns him into a vampire, which is a thing that happens. So that happens. Yeah. And we then, in this film, we have ultimately now Otto, what kind of sets his plan in motion, doesn't he? To attack everyone. And it turns out as well that they've got these guns with wooden tipped bullets.
Yes.
And they have to shoot the other vampires in the heart to defeat them and kill them. So they roll up to town and excuse me, and they start attacking. They want to take down the blood synthesization factory.
Is that a word?
I don't know. Synthesization.
It's our podcast.
To synthesize something.
Shall I look it up?
Yeah. Or would it be synthesizer? No, that's an instrument. Synthesization. Come on, that's got to be a word. If not, I've just made up the best word in the world. Come on, be a word.
It helps if I can spell.
How do you spell a word you've just made up?
Synthesize. Oh no, synthesization you said, didn't you?
Yes. Is there
synthesization is a noun form of the verb synthesize, meaning the act of combining parts or elements to form a whole.
Oh, yes.
So it is a word. It just didn't sound like a word. But yeah, carry on. It was a word.
Oh, I'm so happy.
You didn't know that because you're intelligent. You thought you made a word up.
Okay. But was my brain so smart that it understands etymology so well?
I'm going to go with no.
That it took the Latin and the Greek form of the word synthesis. I don't know if it's Latin or Greek.
I don't know.
But anyway, yeah. Yeah, I mean, they attack the town. There's a whole... Oh my God, there's so much goes on when the town gets attacked by the other vampires, right? The Harrison family are trying to get out of town, but they are stopped. So they turn back into town. They go and tell Count Margulac what's happening. They end up in a standoff with vampires against vampire. Vampires are getting shot. Vampires are attacking each other. Then we end up in the blood factory. Oh my God. I'm just trying to... it was just all over the place at the end. I can't remember everything that happened.
Yeah.
They get to Count Margulac. Count Margulac rallies the troops, his own sort of troops, but they don't have the guns. They do take out some vampires, so they end up getting some of the guns from the vampires, and you get this kind of Western shootout go on as well. Because if you're in a desert town, what else are you going to do apart from have a Western shootout with vampires? You know? And ultimately, I can't remember.
I was just desperately looking through my scenes to see if I'd written anything down about the last scene. I haven't.
No, and because the last scene wasn't good. It just went on, didn't it?
Yeah.
But I mean, look. Ultimately, Otto's defeated. Okay, and the town is going to continue on being the blood synthesis town. Shane goes after the Sarah and his daughter, who we believe is his daughter, though it's not 100% clear, and ultimately gets killed as well. So that's the end of him. And then at the very end, I mean, honestly, like, it's not even that long since I've watched the film, and I can't even really remember all these little incidental things that happened.
I've just got an AI description of the last.
Oh, okay.
In the final scene of Sundown, the vampire in retreat, the remaining vampires and humans are allowed to move on, with the Harrison family departing in March's limousine. Who's March?
Marjolac's limousine.
Oh. The survivors, including the seemingly immune townspeople, are left to live happily ever after, while Robert, who is now free from March's control, laughs at his former master. And that's it.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? We do have a little bit of a scene in it as well, though, where the evil vampires are defeated, aren't they? By what are they defeated by? Oh, the cross. That's right. David goes up on the roof of the building and creates a giant cross out of bric-a-brac.
Oh, okay.
And he puts that up, and it kills all the bad vampires. But the vampires that have stayed on the side of being like, oh yeah, we don't want to kill humans. We want to have the synthesization blood. Yes, thank you very much. And we want to live in harmony with humans. They're not as affected by the cross.
Oh, okay, because they're good.
Yeah, and we get this kind of moment of Count Marjolac, played by David Carradine, going, "We've been forgiven."
Yeah.
Which I thought that was a good touch. I thought that was a good touch. It's like,
see, kids, if you're a good person,
yes,
you won't die. If
the
you're
kingdom of heaven awaits you. No, it doesn't. But yeah, I thought that was a nice touch. I did think that was a nice touch. But yeah, that's kind of the film. That was
the hardest synopsis we've ever done, I think.
Oh, it really was.
That was a slog.
I so struggled with it.
Yeah. I think because the trouble is, and I'll be completely honest, if a movie is quite boring, I do switch off at the end.
Yeah.
I find it really hard to concentrate. Towards the end, I'm switching off more and more, thinking, I just want this movie to be over. And then you don't remember.
I'm very much of the opinion that even if I watched that film a second or a third time, I would still struggle thinking, what happened here? What happened there? What happened here?
Yeah, because you're not engaged, you're not interested,
no.
so you're not... I mean, what movie was it where I was like... I think it was the... what was the one with the porn stars in it?
Oh, One-Eyed Monster.
One-Eyed Monster.
Yeah.
I think it was that one where the old guy that had lived in the town for years was telling the story about how he'd defeated it before. And... No, not defeated that one, but there must have been a different
something
one.
like it in Vietnam.
Similar, because that one was Ron Jeremy's, wasn't it? That had been
it was.
But
it was a similar monster.
And I was so engrossed in his story, and I was like, oh, "How did you defeat it before?" And I was like glued to the screen.
Yeah.
So then you take it all in, and you're like you remember details, but when it's so boring, you just switch off, and then. Even if you just watched it, it's like really hard to remember the detail.
I mean, there's that,
because I wasn't really watching.
Ultimately, a guy turns up, gets his head chopped off. His two friends get put in prison. Mort gets put in prison. Mort ultimately turns them into vampires to fight on their side as well. You have a family turn up in town because one guy, the dad is going to work in the factory, creating the blood synthesization. The wife had.
But what does he think he's there for? So for medical reasons, just medical blood reasons, transfusions and stuff.
Yeah, he doesn't know it's vampires or anything. Right. He ultimately finds out it's vampires, etc. Because Count Marjolac tells him, "Hey, we're trying to be."
When he goes there, he just thinks, "Oh, this is medical research for things like blood transfusions."
And he finds out because Van Helsing falls through a window in the ceiling.
Oh, okay.
In the roof. Because he's trying to sneak up on Count Marjolac.
Yeah.
So and there's
makes sense.
And then you have another vampire creating other vampires to defeat Marjolac and start being proper vampires again. and then they have a big shootout, and the good guys win. That's ultimately all that happens in this film. And yeah, there's little incidental bits.
Yeah.
But,
So, yeah, it's difficult, isn't it? Because I've got more good than I have bad, even though it was quite
Same
boring.
here. Same here. I've got more good than bad myself, but
I have got a couple of bad bits.
Yeah, same here. But I think it's just one of those films that it's not what was the phrase? It's not the sum of its parts, is it? It's got some good bits, but ultimately they are just bits. Diamonds in the... what's the phrase I'm looking for? Diamonds in the rough. There's just a couple of little diamonds and a lot of rough, isn't there? Right. I've got bad scene and bad line. What have you got?
I've got a couple of bad lines.
Okay.
A bad location. I think that's it.
Oh, God. Well, do you want to start with bad location? Because we don't have location very often.
Yeah, so the bad location is the lab, the blood lab. I don't know if that's what it is, a lab. Is it a lab?
Yeah.
Where they're creating the synthesization blood.
You want them to live that down, will you?
It was just like, it was more the like signs and posters on the walls.
Yes.
And there was signage on the walls, and it was like, there was just like a big sign, type A, type B, a box labelled white cells, and a poster that says blood periodic table, or something like that, which I'm not sure if is even a thing.
I don't think there is a blood periodic table.
It was just like, it was like if you said to like an 8-year-old, what do you think a blood synthesization lab would look like? That's what they would do. Is synthesization
a real word?
They'd be like, white blood cells, type A, type B. It was just like, and also, I'm not sure because I've never worked in a lab, but do you have posts on the wall like a school? Like a school lab would have things like periodic table and things like that up on the wall. When you're a scientist for real, do you have things on the wall like that?
Yeah, I think you're just kind of expected to know those things, aren't you?
And also, and like with the labelling of stuff, I don't know, I just feel like you wouldn't have a box of white blood cells, would you?
No. Famously, they don't really do well in boxes.
No. Like, would you just have? But also, would you just separate white blood cells? I don't know because I'm not medical at all. Would you just have like separate white blood cells and then?
Well, I don't think so because, like, even in like normal blood work stuff, they've got those little centrifugal spinner things so that the plasma and the blood doesn't separate.
Yeah,
it stays together. But
no idea.
Who knows?
It just seemed like, there was like the blood periodic table or whatever it was just like a graph with lines and numbers across the top. It didn't actually tell you anything. It was very basic.
I mean, I don't know if you know what the periodic table looks like, the normal periodic table.
Yes, I do.
It's not lines on a graph, is it?
No.
It's a table of information.
I don't know if it did say blood periodic table.
Oh, it definitely did. Yeah, it definitely did.
Oh, it did?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it was a graph.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't a periodic table at all. But
were they just making a pun on period?
Oh, I didn't think of that.
And it just came into my head there, and I thought,
that would make sense.
But
it wouldn't make sense with the graph because the graph didn't make any sense.
Yeah. But
maybe
it's a terrible, terrible joke. If that was the intention.
Okay, well that makes it even worse then.
It does make it worse, doesn't it? Yes. Yeah. It goes even more to the top of the bad location pile.
I just thought, I mean, we have seen similar things to this in other movies. Like which movie was it? Where was it? The cat women on the moon or whatever, where their spaceship was literally like an office room.
Oh yes.
With filing cabinets and hammocks. And I was like, okay, I'll give it that because when was this film?
53.
Yeah, it's like one of the earliest ones we've watched, isn't it?
It is the
53. So, I mean, still a spaceship wouldn't like that.
No,
it
wouldn't. No.
But you've got to think. Okay, some of these locations are literally like you said to a child. Okay, what do you think it's like, or what would you like it to be like inside a spaceship?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'd like to have a hammock. Maybe we could have a filing cabinet for all of our files that we're going to take to space. What?
I mean, the thing is as well,
and
I would understand the filing cabinet in the lab, to file results perhaps.
But on this rocket, it was all loose as well. Like,
yeah.
If you see a rocket on TV, all the like table and control
or in a
panels
science
and stuff, or in a science book, yeah. It's all like kind of inbuilt, isn't it? It's not like a loose table just dragging across the floor.
Everything is kind of strapped down.
No gravity.
Or attached.
This was just like we sleep in hammocks weirdly, and there's just freestanding tables and office furniture. That would not be the case.
And I liked how there was gravity.
Yeah, there was gravity as well. Yeah. So we do get some shocking locations, but this was up there with that rocket, the blood lab.
Yeah. It looked like. That's a good point, isn't it? It looked like they'd just taken over like part of a gymnasium or something and just stuck a couple of posters on the wall.
Basic, like, let's not put any effort into this at all. Let's just put up some random signs of things we know are related to blood. And
let's not even have anything remotely like a lab.
No,
either.
It wasn't like a lab. There was no scientific equipment anywhere, was there, really?
You'd expect Bunsen burners, beakers, and
again, is that a school lab, though? I don't know what a real lab would look like.
These are all standard things that happen in science. You've got all these same things. They all exist. They are used in science, and especially if you're like, you're synthesizing blood. Yeah. There's going to be liquids involved. There's going to be all sorts of things involved. But also, can't we So, no, I don't know where I'm going with this.
Okay, stop then.
So I'll stop. But terrible location. I've got a bad prop which is related to this location. Yep. The synthetic blood itself.
Oh, yes.
So all the vampires kind of had it in these bottles, but it was like what it reminded me of was if you left a bottle of Yazoo out in the sun. Strawberry Yazoo out in the sun. Yeah. It looked very bubbly. Yeah. And very pale pink. And you would think, synthetic blood. Why not make it like blood? Blood, yeah. Why is it a pink goo?
I guess. See, also, I'm not sure this would work, would it? Synthetic blood. Does it need to be from a human for a vampire to survive?
I don't know.
Do we have certain things in our blood that I know they're a fictional creature, so I'm asking a stupid question, but is there anything in any of the comic books or anything that says, they feed on human blood because of X, Y, and Z? It gives them, because we must have certain things in our blood that.
I don't think so. Why do vampires drink blood? Okay, so in vampire folklore, vampires drink blood primarily as a means of sustenance. A more detailed breakdown. Some interpretations portray vampires as creatures who steal the life force from the victims by draining their blood. In some stories, consuming human blood can grant vampires increased power, but nothing specific. It's not like, they've got to replace the white blood cells in their blood or something. Yeah. Because they're dead, and replacing it with white blood cells fights off.
Stuff would give them what they need.
Did I just come up with a good idea?
Did you?
This has probably come up before. This has probably been used somewhere before, but maybe they drink human blood to get plasma and white blood cells because they're dead, and the plasma and the white blood cells fight off the decomposition process, perhaps.
Yeah, and also in this lab, if they're synthesizing blood, why have they got a box of white blood cells? Why have they got type A, type B?
Yeah, where's type O?
All labelled up. Well, they might have type A, but this is synthetic.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I know.
So
yeah.
Why are all the labels related to real blood? It's synthetic blood that you're creating.
Yeah,
or is it like type A, the synthetic? Would they create different types? Wouldn't matter, would it?
It wouldn't matter for a vampire.
If it was synthetic,
because the type only matters when you're having blood transfusion.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And what is the?
I actually don't know.
Types?
I don't know.
I don't get that. Surely we've all got the same things in our blood. Like, I don't get the different types.
Yeah.
Why is there different types of blood?
See, I can't remember what blood type I am.
I probably make myself sound so stupid on this podcast.
But I know my cousin had quite a rare blood type.
I can never remember what I am, and I should know, really.
My cousin, they had a really rare blood type, and they were like really urged to keep going in, and keep going in, to keep donating. I can't donate at the moment because I'm covered in new tattoos.
Oh, okay.
So I think it's 6 months before you can donate again. But also, I can hardly donate myself. It's so hard getting blood out of me.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Honestly, I've gone to the blood donation vans that come round and all that, and I went into one, and this woman, she, phlebotomist, I will call her. Yeah. She probably put a needle into me 5 or 6 times. Yeah. And was like, "Yep, no, we can't get anything." And I'd done everything. Yeah,
it's very dry.
It's just dust in there. It's just dust. But I'd done everything they said. I was well hydrated and everything before going in. You know.
So you didn't get your free tea and biscuit then?
No, I didn't get my free tea and biscuit. Yeah. And then the second time I did it, I went in and I was like, "Look, I really desperately want to give blood because I'm an adult and I can, and you know it's something I want to do." And they were like, "But I've got to warn you, this happened." And they're like, "Well, we'll try again." And they tried another 2 times, and they said, "Hang on, let's go and get this other lady from the other van," because there were 2 vans there. She came into our van, and she came in and she went, "Right,
she can get blood out of a stone."
Yeah, absolutely. And she was like, "Right there," and I've got a tiny little mole in the crook of my arm. Yeah. And she said, "Anyone who wants to take blood from you, tell them to go towards that mole and go at an angle, this angle, specifically this angle, and they'll get blood out of you." And every time I've gone to get blood ever since, I've said to people, I've been told here at this angle and you'll find it, and every time no one can get blood out of me. I had to have a blood test the same time that I had my
well, they couldn't do it because they couldn't get any blood.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's the point.
Next time they'll just slice you open.
Yeah.
It'll just bleed out and they'll get
the same time I had my prostate examined.
Oh, lovely.
I know.
It's the thing that every man looks forward to in his life.
Oh, it's brilliant. This Romanian doctor fella, right? He got blood out of me because like he could go into the area around the wrist. Yeah. The person taking the blood for this health check couldn't go into that area, but the doctor could. So he got blood out of me, and while we were waiting for the results, he was talking to me because obviously I should have had my blood taken before I got to him. Yeah. So we would have the results ready for him. So he took the blood, and we spent a bit more time chatting. He was telling me that he took his wife to the ABBA experience, where they've got the holographic ABBA going on, and he was going on about how great it was. And then he was like, "Well, while we're waiting, have you had your prostate examined? Would you like to have it examined?" And I was like, "I'm 45, I suppose."
While we're waiting, would you like to do this?
I really should have my prostate examined because, it's something that you should have. Because, you're not going to notice a lump on your prostate until, oh, God, why am I not weeing? And then by then it might be too bloody late. Yeah. So I was like, yeah, okay. So he got me up on the bed and he got me to lie on my side and bring my knees up. And then, the old KY jelly on. Anyway, I mean, he was in and he was out. Right? In and out. And I was like, there's absolutely no way you felt anything in that amount of time.
Yeah, I don't understand how they can do it so quickly, because surely you're not examining it properly then, if you're just quickly like, well, I'm sure they know what they're doing, and I'm sure they don't want to spend any more time in there, and you don't want to spend any more time in there, but it seems very, like, from what I've only ever heard like comedians really talk about it. I've never really spoken to somebody in real life about it. Aye. But sorry
if you didn't ever want to.
It's too late for that.
Tough, isn't it?
But yeah, everyone sort of says, "Oh, it's really quick." But I'm like, but how do they get what they need?
Maybe they just know that. Maybe they just know.
Maybe if it's enlarged,
they'll feel immediately that there's something not right. Maybe. And anyway, because he was talking about this ABBA thing beforehand and how good it was. Yeah. He said, after he was done, he handed me some tissues to clean myself up, etc. And not that I enjoyed it too much. That's not what I'm saying.
Sounds like you did.
he said, "Oh, it really is a once in a lifetime experience."
So talking about the ABBA, and you're
I said to him, "We're still talking about ABBA, right?"
Well, kind of both.
Honestly, I've never seen this man absolutely cracked up. He was in tears laughing. Oh, and I'm just like, what the fuck
Imagine
did I
that
open
being
my
part of your
mouth?
job, though. I mean, we've all got bits of our job that we think, oh, this is boring, or I don't like doing this.
I never have to put my finger in another man's bum.
I don't have to put my finger up people's asses.
No,
and that's a bonus.
It is a bonus. It is a bonus.
You know, I might have to do something boring at work, but I don't have to stick my finger up people's bums, so kind of winning.
Have to talk to Europeans. Ugh.
It's just like, you know, I mean, I know they're doctors and they're professional, but some of the jobs they've got to do,
I know.
Not pleasant, are they?
I know, and I had the last time I had this health check was the year before.
Yeah.
And because my company pays for a once a year health check when you're over 40. So it was the year before, and they'd asked me about the prostate, and I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no. And I had a kind of like an idea that it was going to be coming.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh. And I can only imagine.
It's 50, isn't it? Is it 50 they recommend you have?
50 they recommend, yeah. So he said you won't need one for another while.
Yeah.
But he said you were right to get it checked.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, you made me feel better, but also I kind of want a lolly. You know, kind of please give me a sticker at least.
Yeah.
And you know, this guy was as tall as me, big as me. You know, I was just
big
like,
banana hands.
It's just like I was, you know, and like I'm not gonna lie. When he was asking about the prostate, I checked his fingers.
Yeah.
I checked those fingers. I was like,
have you got small fingers?
Oh, are they tapered at the end? Please be tapered at the end. You know, please be like pointy fingers. No.
It's like the worst thing ever, isn't it?
What are those knuckles like?
These are all things that like you can't know these things as a child because you just be like, what the fuck is life? Like, why do I have to do things like this?
I'm going to get to 18.
Why at one point am I going to be laying on bed, knees up, with someone's finger up my ass? Like, why is that going to be a thing?
And why 10 minutes later am I still going to be on the bed, knees up, rocking gently
in the fetal position? Yeah.
Look, don't get me. Look. It was like in and out. I'm not sitting here saying I need a day off work, 1 day off a month. Sure? You know, because I understand.
Well, hopefully you don't need a prostate exam once a month because that would be.
I know smear tests are a thing.
Yeah.
And I think they are probably, a bit more horrific than just having a finger up your bum and in and out.
It takes a lot longer.
Yeah, it takes longer, and it's not a comfortable thing.
And they tell you to relax, but you can't relax when they're doing that.
How could you relax?
And it's like the way they just get the lamp. You're like, you're looking right inside my body.
Yeah,
like this is just so grim.
I've lit up like
and they give
Blackpool.
You and you're there, legs spread.
Yeah,
so you've got to like relax your knees, so feet together, knees down.
Yeah,
and so you're there in that position. They can see inside your body.
Yeah,
and they give you this little square of paper to put over the top of your bits. You're like, you can literally see inside my body.
I mean,
what is the point of this?
What is this covering
gone.
from the CCTV or something?
My dignity's gone. You can see everything. Why do I need this over the top of it, which is the least offensive part?
Yeah.
Like, you're looking inside me. I don't think I need this over my pubic bone.
No.
You know, you can see everything. So, yeah, I mean, obviously, very essential that you go and get it done.
Yes.
And it is, you know, you get used to it. Like, once you've done it a few times, you're like, I need to know if I've got cancer. So, this is quite important. So you just get over it. But, and, you know, the people doing it, the women doing it are like, you know, very professional. They've done it a million times. They don't care if you've shaved. They don't care what it looks like. They don't care. Because I know a lot of young girls worry, don't they?
They might also just kind of hope that you've got good hygiene.
Oh, obviously, yeah. But I would imagine you wouldn't go. I mean, you wouldn't go to an appointment like that without being clean. I wouldn't have. I guess people do.
You'd be very surprised.
I guess people do, but like, why would you? If you know you're going there, you would make sure you're clean.
Yeah.
Although I did see a comedian on TV say that she had a smear test booked, and I don't know if she was like just really busy that day or whether she'd forgotten about it. And she said she went to the toilet beforehand and like looked through her bag, thinking I think I've got some like wipes or something in here, and I can just give myself a quick. She'd had a busy day, been rushing around.
Yeah.
So she tries to have a little freshen up, and then she laid on the bed, and they were like, "Oh," and they pulled something out.
Oh no!
And she was like, "What the hell?" They just pulled out like what was down there, and it was a second-class stamp. And it's like she was like, what? Like, and the nurse doing it was just like, okay, there's a stamp in here. I'll just pull that out. It was just like,
oh my god, oh no,
because she'd found these wipes at the bottom of her bag, so there's just all the other stuff in her bag.
Oh wow,
but they must see all sorts of stuff. These healthcare professionals.
God, yeah.
I mean, the best stories obviously are when people go in with stuff shoved up their arse, and in hospitals and stuff, and they've got to try and get them out. And they're like, one of them I heard, and I don't even know if this is true, was a guy went in with a ketchup bottle shoved up his arse, and this elaborate story that he gave. And they know if you go in with something stuffed up your arse, they know what you've been doing. Yeah, you don't fall on something and it goes up your arse with clothes on. If you're wearing your clothes, things don't go up your arse that easily. So this guy was like, I did my shopping and I locked myself out. So I climbed up the window to try and get in the house, but then I fell onto the sauce bottle, which by the way didn't break. It was up his arse perfectly intact. And so he's saying that with his clothes on, somehow he fell on this sauce bowl and it went up his arse. And then the doctor said, that's all fine, but why has it got a condom on it?
And also,
how did it fall up your arse when you have clothes on?
Yeah, why would you be climbing?
Yeah, why would you be climbing up naked?
Oh, I was climbing through the window and my
Bare-arsed.
trousers got caught on the window and pulled down. And
But people make up these elaborate stories and it's so obviously a lie. And then, like, the doctors are like, yeah, we see this all the time. We know what this is.
I would love? Like the movie Final Destination, where these really convoluted accidents and deaths happen.
Yeah. Where
there's a movie where it's literally just all these convoluted events happen where people end up with things jammed up their arse and they have to go to ER. And no, honestly, this just happened. Yeah. And there's just some, like, prankster death god thing going and yeah, I want that to happen.
Yeah,
we need to make that movie happen. And it's what would you call it? Anal Destination.
Oh, no. We know the destination. That's the one thing we do know.
Oh yeah, I mean it's the final destination really for
the object. Yeah,
for the object. All right. Anyway.
Let's get off of the
best. Yeah, crack on. Right. I've got a bad line.
Yes.
But I can't remember when it was said.
Okay.
Do you remember? I think you might have the same bad line because I think we both went to write it down. Someone said, I can't even remember when it was said, but they were like, "Let's hope it's not in vain."
Oh, I've got lots of vampires tonight. Let's hope it's not in vain.
That's it. Yeah.
But I don't know who said it.
Yeah.
I didn't write down who said it.
Yeah. Lots of vampires tonight. Let's hope it's not in vain. Yeah. Oh. I mean, there was going to be some sort of pun like that involved in this film, but it was dreadful.
Yeah.
Just honestly, whoever wrote that line, I hope you're happy with yourselves. Just disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Yeah. I did not like that one.
You got any other bad lines?
No, I don't. I just had that one bad line.
Oh, I've got a couple.
Okay, go on.
When they meet the old couple and the woman from when they first get to the town.
Yes.
Of Purgatory.
You got it.
The old woman says to one of the little girls, "Your parents must be very romantic." And I'm sure, and I've put, I think, because I'm sure this is what she said. The little girl says, "They're very horny."
That's right. Yes.
She's a really odd thing to write for a little girl to say in a movie.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's a weird line to write for a young kid, but it's also a weird observation for a young kid to make about their parents.
Yep. Absolutely.
Because how old are these girls? Not old enough to be saying stuff like that, really.
You said it when we were watching it. Did she just say what I think she said? And I was like, yes, absolutely she did.
So that was odd.
It is very odd. I have to sometimes question these writers.
Yeah. It worries me. If you're writing a line for a child, a child would not say that.
And it was the youngest of the daughters as well.
Yeah.
So it was very, very, very dreadful, to be honest.
And
dreadful line.
Also got so it's Shane, isn't it? Is that the vampire that Sarah used to date?
Yes, it is. Yeah. So this is in the fight scene, isn't it, that he has with David, the husband?
Yeah. So he says to her husband, does Sarah still whimper when she comes? I miss seeing her on her knees. And I just thought, it's just absolutely no need for that line.
No, there just wasn't.
Like,
was there?
as if you'd say that to somebody about their wife.
I know.
And there's just absolutely no need.
And like, I know he's a vampire, and I know he's powerful, and I know ultimately he could do whatever he wants to David, and the town would cover it up, whatever. But like, yeah, maybe just not write a line like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure there's lots of other things he could have said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a bit too graphic, wasn't it, really?
Yeah, it really was. Yeah. Yeah, it was. I don't know if I'm like... I don't understand a line like that. I just don't understand it. I just don't understand it, Emma.
No. Did you have any other...
I do. I have a... Where am I? I have a bad scene.
Okay.
So this is just after where the girls have found Count Modulac's coffin, and they come running up to their mother and like, oh, there's a man in a coffin down there, blah 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 blah. Okay, blah blah blah. Well, oh, I could have been pulling that joke all this time. So they're obviously saying to their mum, oh, there's this fella down here, blah blah blah, blah blah blah. But the mother's like, hey, come on now, this clearly didn't happen. She obviously doesn't believe them, because why would you? Because it's just such a weird scenario. But I put it down as a really bad scene because she's literally gaslighting the kids with the threat of their pocket money. So he's like, oh no, come on girls, it was dark down there, he might have been standing next to the coffin, etc etc. You clearly didn't see what you're both telling us that you've seen, and they're clearly also really affected by it. Doesn't look like it's a game, it doesn't look like they're playing. And I just found it hilarious. Like, basically, look, if you keep up this story, you're not going to be getting your pocket money. Yeah. That's it. Oh, what great parenting.
Yeah, well done. You. Well done for completely ignoring your kids' concerns.
Yeah. And then, sure enough, a weird pale fella's just standing in the opening of a secret passageway in the house.
This is after she's been attacked by the bat, is it?
Yes.
So you know that vampires exist because it was a bat and then it turned into a man.
Yeah, I know.
So you obviously know vampires exist.
I know.
So why are you denying your kids telling you that there's another vampire in the basement?
Yeah. Is she trying to say, oh, she didn't believe what happened with him?
Is she just in denial? Yeah.
Yeah. And it's not just a river in Egypt. Like, I don't actually have anything else bad about this film other than just a general kind of meh about it. I'm disappointed. We
did get vampire vision.
Which is just like
a red filter. But we do like a bit of their vision.
Yes.
So that was...
So what would you do to make this film better?
That's difficult.
Yeah, I think it is with this one.
I normally make a note of what I would do to make it better. And I do think the actual storyline was pretty boring. I think they could have done more with it. I mean, you've got vampires. So if you've got any kind of creature like that, surely there's something you can do that's more exciting.
Yeah,
it was a bit like, I don't know, there just wasn't a lot of plot. It was kind of like these people have come to this town, there's a load of vampires, some of them are trying to make synthetic blood because they want to turn good, the others don't give a shit. That was it. There was no real storyline to it, was there?
I think it could have been, instead of making it a movie, this might be a bit controversial here. This is what I would propose to make the film better. Don't make it as a film.
Make it a series.
This is a sitcom. This is a sitcom in the making of vampires trying to coexist with humans in a town. Oh wait, they made True Blood. I know that wasn't a sitcom, but no, the vampires trying to coexist, and they're going to get up to all sorts of hijinks. Yeah, this is American 80s sitcom written all over it. Yeah, but instead we ended up with
or make it a movie, but make it a comedy, like a dark comedy, or something like that. But it wasn't, was it?
Yeah, I mean, it was a comedy. That's the trouble.
But it wasn't funny.
It wasn't funny. Yeah, I know.
I mean,
you had so many opportunities for good laughs.
Yeah.
But it just didn't have them.
Okay, so what are you scoring it?
I'm going to give it 2 out of 5.
I was thinking 2. Because I have to give it something, because I've written down a lot of good things.
Yes. Yeah.
And we did get Vampire Vision.
Yes, which was a good plus.
But I was pretty bored and waiting for it to end.
Yeah.
I did switch off at the end.
I know.
Yeah.
I feel like I kind of switched off through more than just the end as well.
Yeah, and I wouldn't recommend it to anybody to watch it.
Feels odd giving a movie 2 stars out of 5, but still saying I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But I think anything less than a 3 we wouldn't recommend, would we?
No, I suppose. Yeah, it's still kind of detracting against it, isn't it? 3's medium, 4's good, 5's excellent.
6 is snakes on a plane.
Snakes on a motherfucking plane. Yeah. But yeah, I just can't see. I could not see myself watching this again.
No, I wouldn't.
Even though I think I'd need to watch it about 5 times to remember what happened in it.
Yeah.
That was a real struggle. A real struggle. Right. Everybody, thank you so much. You can come and join us over on the Patreon at www.patreon.com/ICBadMovies, and you'll be able to hear the flip side of this episode where we'll be talking about the good bits. And we do have good bits.
Which actually we have more of than bad bits.
Yeah, I know. So it could be a little bit more of a bumper flip side episode. So we're going to go record that now. If you come and join us, it's $3 a month. And you're going to get loads and loads and loads of stuff. But also, if you listen to this, whatever you're listening to us on, if you can, give us a review.
Yeah,
subscribe. Reviews really help podcasts grow because people see a review and, they do pay attention to them.
Yeah.
So it would be lovely if you've been listening to us for a while, but you've never done it. Whatever you listen to us on, just pop a little review in. A nice one. That'd be great.
Yeah, a good one.
We'll take feedback, but at least give us a good review. But give feedback. That'd be, don't just pan me. But if you do say anything, just say that Emma's the funny one. Okay.
They always do.
I know. Everyone does. But if you put Emma's the funny one, then I knew you listened to this bit.
Yeah.
There you go.
We know you listen to the bit.
We know you listen to this bit. Yeah. Anyway, thanks everyone. Bye.
Bye.